Picture this, you're running late for work, stuck in Manhattan traffic, when suddenly red and blue lights flash behind you. One phone call while driving in New York City could now cost you way more than you think. I'm talking about points on your license that could skyrocket your insurance for years. But exactly how many points? That answer at the end might shock you, and it could be the difference between keeping your license and losing it. These are the most significant changes to New York's driving laws in decades, and if you drive in New York, they will fundamentally alter how traffic violations affect your license. Starting February 26, 2026, New York is implementing a completely overhauled point system that makes it dramatically easier to lose your driving privileges. Let me be direct about what this means. Where it used to take 11 points in 18 months to suspend your license, it now takes just 10 points in 24 months. That might sound like a small change, but when you combine it with massive increases in point penalties for common violations, the math becomes sobering. A single reckless driving violation now carries 8 points instead of 5. Even basic speeding violations are jumping from 3 to 4 points. This isn't just about stricter enforcement. According to state officials, these changes will increase the number of drivers classified as persistent violators by approximately 40%. That's not a typo. Nearly half as many New York drivers will face license suspension under these new rules. But here's what makes this particularly challenging. New Yorkers already pay the highest auto insurance rates in the nation, averaging $4,000 per year. That's $1,500 more than the national average. Now, with violations staying on your record longer and carrying heavier penalties, those insurance costs are about to get much worse. The timing of these changes tells a story. Governor Kathy Hochul first proposed this safety agenda in her 2023 State of the State address. The changes were formally proposed in July 2024, adopted in November 2024, but won't be fully enforced until February 26, 2026, while the DMV updates its computer systems. This gives drivers a brief window to understand what's coming and prepare accordingly. Let's break down exactly what these changes mean for your daily driving. The most shocking increases affect violations that many drivers consider routine risks. Speeding up to 10 miles per hour over the limit jumps from 3 to 4 points. That means if you get caught doing 35 in a 25-mile-per-hour zone 4 times in 2 years, you're looking at 16 points and an automatic license suspension. It's important to note this only applies when you're pulled over by police. Speed camera and red light camera tickets in New York carry fines, but add 0 points to your license, so they won't count towards suspension thresholds. But the real game changers are the violations that now carry 8-point penalties. Reckless driving, which used to be 5 points, is now 8. Passing a stopped school bus jumps from 5 to 8 points. Any speeding in a work zone, regardless of how fast you are going, is now an automatic 8 points. These aren't just traffic violations anymore, they're license killers. A single instance of reckless driving leaves you just 2 points away from losing your driving privileges entirely. The alcohol-related penalties are even more severe. A first alcohol-related offense jumps from 5 to 8 points. A second offense goes from 8 to 11 points, which exceeds the suspension threshold by itself. A third offense carries 14 points, which is well into revocation territory. Even more concerning, the DMV now reviews a driver's lifetime record when they try to reapply for their license, and the number of alcohol or drug-related incidents before permanent license denial has been reduced from 5 to 4. New violations are entering the point system for the first time. Illegal U-turns and obstructing traffic now carry 2-point penalties. Equipment violations, including things like broken taillights that used to be simple fix-it tickets, will now add 1 point to your license. Failure to move over for emergency vehicles becomes a 3-point penalty. The days of minor violations having no lasting consequences are over. The extended look-back period creates what experts are calling the one bad day scenario. Where the old system only looked at 18 months of driving history, the new system reviews 24 months. This means violations from nearly 2 years ago can still contribute to your license suspension. Aaron Pam from Tully Rinke Law Firm told WHEC that a lot more people are willing to pay larger fines in order to find that 0-point plea agreement or in order to make a deal to avoid an 8-point conviction, because even one 8-point conviction is going to seriously affect your future. The financial implications extend far beyond the points themselves. The driver responsibility assessment penalties remain at $100 per year for the first 6 points and $25 per year for each additional point, payable annually. A DWI conviction results in an additional $750 fee. Repeat offenders may face a combined total of $1,425 in penalties if both assessments apply. But as Erie County Clerk Michael Kearns warned, insurance in New York State has really gone up, so any type of violation will really impact your premium, which could be quite significant. Insurance companies are already paying attention to these changes. Where policy changes go, insurers follow closely behind. Expect increased attention to license suspensions and higher auto insurance premiums. For a state where drivers already face the nation's highest insurance costs, this could push many families to their financial breaking point. The enforcement reality is becoming clear through the numbers. In New York, over 27,000 tickets are issued in just a single week. That's nearly 4,000 tickets every day. Under the new system, significantly more of those tickets will result in meaningful consequences for drivers. One extreme example cited by the New York City Council involved a single driver who received 562 tickets, highlighting that traditional fines and possible jail time aren't enough to curb dangerous driving behaviors. Governor Hochul's broader safety agenda provides context for these changes. Since taking office, she has invested $3 billion in public safety, including record support for local and state law enforcement. These efforts have helped make New York one of the safest large states in the country. The point system overhaul is just one piece of a comprehensive approach to road safety that includes increased law enforcement presence and technological solutions. Speaking of technology, Governor Hochul announced in her 2026 State of the State address a pilot program for intelligent speed assistance systems. This technology would be required for drivers with documented patterns of speeding violations. The devices use GPS and other technology to prevent someone from traveling more than a few miles per hour over the posted speed limit. While this starts as a pilot program in New York City, Governor Hochul plans to allow interested communities around the state to opt into the program based on results. Additional changes are coming in July 2026, specifically affecting senior drivers. New rules will focus on medical fitness, driving history, and demonstrated ability rather than age alone. Immediate family members will be able to report concerns if they believe a senior driver may be unsafe due to a medical condition. These changes represent a shift from age-based restrictions to capability-based assessments. For drivers looking to protect themselves under these new rules, there are concrete steps you can take. A state-approved defensive driving course can reduce your point total by up to 4 points, offering valuable protection. The Point and Insurance Reduction Program is approved by the NYDMV and could also help lower your auto insurance rates by 10% each year for 3 years. You can review your current points total by purchasing your driving record through MyDMV. The controversy around these changes reflects deeper tensions about road safety, personal freedom, and government revenue. Critics argue that the stricter penalties amount to a revenue-generating scheme that disproportionately affects working families who depend on their cars. Supporters contend that the changes are necessary to address a genuine public safety crisis and that traditional enforcement methods have proven inadequate. Alex Slatke, a AAA spokesperson, captured the intended effect. "I'm hopeful that this will make drivers think twice, especially after they get one violation, about engaging in behaviors that put them at risk for getting a second ticket." Mark Gruba from AAA added that these are situations where drivers put other people's lives at risk, emphasizing the safety rationale behind targeting persistent offenders. The implementation timeline shows how seriously the state is taking these changes. While the updated point system technically became effective November 6, 2024, the DMV has held off on full enforcement while updating its computer systems. This transition period ends February 26, 2026, when the new rules take full effect alongside the launch of the updated technology platform. As we approach February 2026, every New York driver needs to fundamentally reconsider their relationship with traffic laws. The margin for error has shrunk dramatically, and the consequences of violations have expanded far beyond simple fines. Whether you're a daily commuter dealing with city traffic or a weekend driver navigating suburban roads, these changes will affect how you drive, what risks you take, and what those risks cost you. So, in the beginning of this video, we promised to tell you how many points will using a cell phone while driving add to your record. Cell phone violations just jumped from 5 to 6 points. Let that sink in for a second. Mark Gruba from AAA Western and Central New York put it bluntly: if you get caught using your cell phone just twice in 2 years, you've hit the 10-point limit. Game over. Think about how easy that is. A quick glance at your phone at a red light, checking your GPS while you're stuck in bumper-to-bumper traffic on the FDR. Those split-second decisions, they just became license-ending mistakes. 2 tickets, 2 years, and you're potentially looking at a suspended license, skyrocketing insurance rates, and a whole lot of regret. So here's my advice. Invest in a phone mount, use voice commands, or just wait until you're parked. Because in 2026, that text message simply isn't worth it.